everyone, this is Rushika. In this video, I'm going to talk about projects, portfolio, how to create it. So let's start right away. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So this is going to be all about projects. As you can see, we are going to look for portfolio creation, how we are going to manage it, as well as basically, and the main focus is going to be on GitHub. So as for the content, the very first thing is about what are the main skill sets that we need as a data analyst. After that, how to answer the question, which is about tell me about your project. And third point will be the portfolio management. So if you are becoming a data analyst, if you are an aspiring data analyst, in that position, you are creating your projects and you want to showcase those. So how to showcase it? Like what are the most effective possible ways that we have? Those I'm going to talk about in this videos. So as you can already see, the 3 points that I have already mentioned here, it is on GitHub, Google Drive, or LinkedIn. How and why I have mentioned LinkedIn, we will talk about it in some moments. So very first point, skills needed for the data analyst role. So as everybody knows about it already, the data analyst role that we are talking about here, we need the basic skills, that is business intelligence, BI tool. So BI tool, there are many. There are reporting tool, there are ETL tools, softwares, there are multiple platforms. So you should be good with at least one. So if you are talking about the data visualization here, so my suggestion will be with Power BI, ClickView, or Tableau, any one of whichever you like. SQL is mandatory. With SQL, it is not just for data analyst role, it is for everything, every other data related roles available in corporate. Next, for the Microsoft Excel, it is basic. You need to have the basic understanding of Excel. R and Python, they are going to give you extra credit if you know R or Python language really well. If you don't know about it, then you have to make your first 3 pointers really strong. But having Python is going to give you extra credit, that's for sure. Critical thinking and the communication, they are your soft skills. You need to be really good with finding out the insights, understanding the requirement, and actually communicating it properly to the clients. And that's why these are the 5 the most asked data analyst role skill set. Okay. I hope you guys are preparing in this path only, on this path only. You are following up with the SQL, you are following up with the Excel, and you are preparing yourself with a good communication as well. It is definitely going to help you in a long run. The next part of our overall session is about tell me about your project. This is one of the most asked question. This is actually the most asked question. It is not just for the data role. It is going to be for each and every person who is working in IT corporate. If you are giving an interview, first question will be tell me about yourself. And your next question will be tell us about your past project, or tell us about your works, or tell us something that you have been doing in your current position. It can be in any other languages, but it is going to ask the same thing about what are the projects, what are the skills that you know, and what are you working on. Okay. So how to answer this question? There are a couple of questions that I have written. These are going to make sense to you if you have worked on any project in the past, even if you are not working or if you have never worked in any corporate company. Still, you have to make sure that you are having answers to all of these questions. Okay. Question, you can say it is a question or it is a number pointers about your project answer. So first of all, you have to start with project name. What is the name of your project? Domain or industry. So which industry you have taken the data set from? From where did you get the data set, SQL or Excel, etc. So you have to talk about that from where you have got the data. If you are from the corporate, you can talk about it that your manager has given you the data, or client has given you the SQL server or the credentials, everything to you. On the other hand, if your data set is something that you have taken from the dummy data sets, like any challenges available online, then it's all right that you are mentioning it as an Excel file. Okay, you got the data as an Excel file. How many people were there in your team? You can, again, if you are in a corporate, you can say there were 2 to 3 people, whoever is in your team. If there are no, if you have not worked with any company, again, you can say that you have worked alone, or this is something that you have done as a freelancing project. How did you receive this project, from the manager or directly connected with the client? So that is again, like if it is a freelancing project, you can share that the project has been done and handled completely by you, and the data is directly given to you by the client. And as for the manager's role, you can talk about that this is the team project. We talked with client, we had a conversation within your team, and on every stand-up call, we discuss about the further process. How frequently did you connect with the team? I already answered this question. So you can mention like on a daily basis, on every other day, on every third day, whatever is your sequence. Okay. How was the work decided in the team? So this is something where you have to be very like very creative. I will say creative, or you have to be very sharp when you are answering this question. You cannot say the words which you don't know about. If you know your weak point is data modeling and you are going to say ki my main focus was with data modeling, Power Query editor, and then creating a report, then they are going to catch you on that. Interviewers will focus on asking the question which will be related to modeling, which will be related to DAX, etc. So you have to make sure that whatever you are saying, whatever the words that you speak in front of the interviewer, you know each and every words out of that. Okay. So don't mention the things that you don't know about. How many days did it take you to finish the project? So it varies. On an average, we take minimum 8 days to 15 days. It can be more as well. There are companies who keeps on doing the same project for like a couple of months, and sometimes the projects have like starts and ends in a single week as well. So again, you have to be very precise with this number of days. You can divide the complete days. Like if there are 10 days, you can mention the first 3 days were focused on Power Query editor, next 2 days about the data modeling, then next 4 days about the calculation, and finally we focused on the validation of the data, something in that pattern. But you have to be very precise. You have to be very consistent with the question number one till the the last question that we are talking about here. It is something similar to creating a storyline, creating a plot of your movie. You need to know your actors, you need to know your villains, you need to know the plot twist. Everything is supposed to be crystal clear to you. You work in a company, you don't work in a company, it doesn't matter that thing. It only depends on how you are answering the question like project. And it is again very important question that must be answered correctly. How many days did it take? That is done. Were there any conflicts between the team or with the client? So questions in the yellow, these are supposed to be answered by you in a one go. Okay. If you don't remember all the points that moment, you can skip. But if you know all answers, then you can talk about it in a one go. After that, the questions are questions in the white that I have mentioned here. These are your follow-up questions. There might be more, of course, but these are the ones that I have heard most frequently from other people as well. So these are going to be your follow-up question from your interviewer. So questions like, were there any conflicts between the team or with the client? Like you faced any difficulties handling your client? Like how did you handle that difficult client basically? So this is your question number one. That can be your follow-up question. Any difficulties you faced during the project with the data set, requirement, or anything else? So this difficulties might be related to anything unless and until your client has given that understanding to you already. But otherwise, it can be anything. It will be technical difficulty. It might be your own conflicts within the team. It might be issues with the client and your team or your company. It can be anything, of course. How did you submit the project? So at the end, the project submission, how was it done? Was it you who has submitted, you who was presented, or your manager? Something in that way. How did you receive the feedback? Feedback represents like if there were any issues with the project, how did they come back to you with those questions? Were you using any Jira? Like for example, Jira is there as a project management system, something similar to that if you have used, and or if there is any other way that you have followed the pattern. How did you perform the data validation? This is one of the questions that we have talked previously. So data validation, you can understand it. Like you can like revisit the videos, or you can check out, you can talk about me, you can ask me about this question again. How did you perform the data validation? So these are some of the questions that has been frequently asked, and you should know the answers about it. Okay. And of course, job to job basis, as well as which level you are giving this interview for. So on variety of factors, the questions and the intensity of the questions are going to be different. But on an average, in general terms, this is what all you guys are going to see. Okay. And this is, again, I'm telling you, this is important. You have to have at least one project ready with you. Even you have worked on only one project and you never worked on anything else, still, at least that one project must be explained by you very well. Okay. So that is your tell me about your project. You can make your tell me about your project and send it to me. I will personally check it out and I will give you the updates like what must be there and what not to be. Okay. I used to write it down on pen and paper. Sometimes I used to write down in a Word document also. Like I kept adding and deleting the things, and unless and until I make it completely perfect as I need it. So, however, the way you want to mention or write it, you can do it, but do share it with me once you are ready. Now, the final part of this session is about the portfolio management. Once your projects are ready, and if there is an opportunity where you have to share this data, where you have to share with those projects with the client, you got an opportunity to explain those, then from where you can explain it, from where you can manage it, that's what we are going to talk about next. So as you already know, I already have talked about the platforms, which is GitHub, Google Drive, and the LinkedIn. All the three methods are really effective. They are really good. And also it is up to you also, like how you are explaining those platforms, how you are showcasing all of your works at one place. Okay. GitHub, you can place all the types of projects under one platform here. Easy to sync and share as well. So GitHub is like everything, like one for all. You have the data, you have the projects for Python, you have the project for SQL, Power BI, any other tool as well. You can collect it all together at one location. Google Drive, same idea. You can sync the overall data at one place. You can keep everything at one location. And LinkedIn, again, LinkedIn is your professional platform. But I believe if you keep showcasing your work on your LinkedIn, it is going to make a huge impact. It is okay if you are not sharing each and everything, but if you keep sharing something which you are proud of, that will definitely make an impact. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to talk about GitHub here. So I'm going to show you how GitHub platform works. For this whole process, I'm going to need you to have one folder with all the information available. Okay. With all the information I'm talking about, like all the projects gathered at one location. Okay. So let me show you how I have created this folder and what is this demo folder I have created for you. Okay. So here I am sharing my screen where you can see there is a folder P2P session portfolio management. If you open it, so each folder I have designed multiple folders for the specific purpose. The first designs represent the different design, the backgrounds of my Power BI report. They are the PNG formats. How to start the project. So there are a couple of more images. Power BI design. So there is a Power BI report. There is a video. The ClickView reports. So how ClickView reports looks like, my images with those, the data set as well as images. Theme-based projects. So I have given report files, the data set, the images, everything that I have used in that particular project. So you can see there are like multiple different data types has been used with this particular data set, with this particular folder, sorry. And you can keep the same idea and you can have the same design with yourself, your portfolio folder also. You can create one folder with only specific type of a project. You can create a folder with the specific data domain of the projects. It can be variety of ideas, like you can follow whatever pattern, but it should not be very cluttered. Person should understand whichever the folder they are opening, what they are going to find in it. Okay. So it's supposed to be very organized and you should follow the organized pattern for the same. So I'm going to use this particular data set for my GitHub account. I hope you all are aware about how to create the GitHub. You can just go at the github.com. Okay. And on that platform, you just have to sign up, give your Gmail account, give your proper name, like what do you want to have as your account name, basically. Like this is my account profile name. And if you open this Rushika Kale, you are going to see this is my page on it. Okay. You can give the proper name, you can give the photo, you can give some of your information here. You can see how many people you are following and the people and the location you are from, etc. This particular area here that I have like improvised from my side, If you required, I can share this particular code with you if you want to make some fancy stuff like this. So this is a code in the backend. All you have to do is just make sure wherever there is an important requirement, you need to update it accordingly. So you need to be a bit better with the coding part. You do not have to code exactly. You just have to update the numbers. You just have to update the data. So, for example, at this particular point, or here is the Rushika Kale name written, here is the heading of my role, etc. So you just have to check like wherever my name is available there, and you just have to update it accordingly. Okay. So if you required, you can contact me and I can share this particular file with you. You just have to update the data. Our main task right now is to figure out how to create a repository or how to create a folder where all of my projects are. Let me show you the one that I have used, and this is mine. So reporting tools, this is the folder name I have created. In this folder, you can see multiple reporting tools. You can open one by one and you can see I have given the domain name wise folders. So if it says e-commerce, you are going to see the e-commerce related projects, like details about that e-commerce project. If you click on that image, you are going to see the image of that particular project here. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, but it's once open, this is how going to look like. Okay. So, this is for ClickView. The same is with the Power BI. You can see all of my folders as per sometimes it is about challenge, sometimes it is about any particular data domain, sometimes it is about the platform name. You open it, you will see the options, like you will see the data. You open it again and you will find all the details about that project. Okay. So this is my current project portfolio, like how I have kept it. How you are going to keep it? So very first thing, you have to create your folder where every information is there. Next task, you are supposed to go to the repository. You can start creating a new repository here. You have to give a good name. So let me name it as demo_July. It's supposed to be a unique name, which must be available. Any description that you want to give, if you want to make it public or private, it must be public because otherwise people won't see what you have created. If you want to add a readme file, that you can enable or disable, it's up to you. And that is it. You can create a repository after that. Okay. So this is the by default page that opens. There is nothing on the screen. It just shows demo July. And there is this code page that they are showing us right now. After this point of time, like there is also the very automated way, but it requires a knowledge of coding. I don't follow that. I do the direct process where I just have to drag and drop all of my work here. So I'm going to show you that process. And for that purpose only, I ask you to create one particular folder. So all I have to do is, let's click on this particular page here. I have to click on uploading an existing file. Okay. Once you click on that particular option, you can see this particular option here available. They are going to ask you to drag files here to add them to your repository. Okay. So to add this whole folder, what I'm going to do, I'm just making it to fit it on one screen. There is this P2P session dash portfolio management. I'm just going to drag and drop all of my folder here. Okay. Once it's done, you can see the process has started uploading. There are 68 files. We are going to see the overall update of all the files in my GitHub repository now. So this is the process. This is the progress. Sorry. So out of 68, there are 29 files that is uploaded, 31, 32, 33, and finally, it will be done soon. Once this is the first time you have to perform it, the next time you just have to perform the specific folder as per your updated projects. Okay. Or if you want to just update the specific report or something, so you can remove that particular report and you can add another one. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, the overall process is done. All the files are updated. At the end, you have to give the commit changes. You have to write something here, otherwise it will not commit the changes. The first time data upload, you can give any other comment here. It's supposed to be understandable to you in future. Commit the changes, and the overall processing my files option is in progress. Okay. And once that processing is done, you are going to get your repository folder. So once you are on my Rushika Kale page, now you are going to see reporting tool, which is what I have pinned already. And on here only, you are going to see the repository, which is named as Demo July. Okay. I can open it, which is public. You can see the folder that I have collected here, right? And you can see all my designs, all of my works. If you want to open it, you just have to click and it is going to show the images, right? So all of these informations are available on your GitHub. This is the first way of creating your portfolio. You can follow this whole process and your portfolio will be created. Okay. And next time you want to share this portfolio with somebody, you just have to give this particular link to that person. Okay. This particular link from the URL. Okay. This is your first way of creating your project portfolio. Second way, exact similar process. The only difference is you are going to use Google Drive for that. So this is my Google Drive. I have named my Google Drive as Dashboard Works. And on this page, you are going to see the folders as per the projects. I also have kept the images as well as everything. But I have stopped using it a long time. You can see it is last modified in 2021. And after that time, I have started using the GitHub only because it contains everything, SQL, Python, uh, and other languages also. I tried working on other projects, for example, with SQL. So there is like languages, that is my another folder. Here you will see the Python projects, like Python examples or Python solutions that I have worked on in previous time. And that is how you can create your own project portfolio as well. The recommended option, as I already have mentioned, it is going to be a GitHub. LinkedIn, you can share whichever project that you are proud of, and it must be really well so that people will get impressed with your work and they probably will contact you through the comment section or directly can message you as well. Okay. So the demo part is done. As I have already said, I am recommending GitHub for you. Okay. That is it with this whole session. I wanted to focus on the project portfolio part. If you have any questions on the same topic, how to create project portfolio, or if you're facing any issues, please send the message to me and I will connect with you on the same. That is it from my side for today. Again, if any other topic that you want me to have conversation or discussion about, we can definitely talk it about it soon. All right. Thank you so much.